right, guys, joining me on the show today is a friend of the show. You already know who he is. We spoke with him just a couple of weeks back, but he was still in MMA limbo then, but no longer. He is the newly signed UFC flyweight, Jose Shorty Torres. What's going on, brother? How does that sound?
Man, it's great. Everything's been awesome. Sadly, it wasn't the call I wanted, but because of the flyweight division where it's at, that's sadly the only call I'm gonna get are last minute calls. For people who don't know, I was getting ready for a 145-pound title fight, trying to challenge the Titan FC's featherweight champion, and sadly, 2 days before I got the call, he denied the fight. I was like, oh man, all right, so be it. Whatever. I'll just chill, see where I'm at, and then I got the call from my manager saying, "Hey, Mick wants you to fight this date. What do you think?" I initially said no. I go, "No, it's too much weight. I'm higher than my usual." Just because I was getting ready for a higher end fight, but I ended up talking to Lou after and my team, and immediately everyone's like, "Dude, take the fight. We're 100% comfortable with you taking it. We know you can make the weight. Let's get it done." I was like, all right, well, this is gonna suck. Let's do it. If you guys really do believe in me that much, all right, let's do it. So it's not the opponent, it's not who I'm fighting, not Jared, not Tim Elliott, not DJ. It doesn't matter who I fight. It was 100% more on like the mental game of, and this is a little more than I'm used to. But if Lou Trish and Louis Giordano 100% believes and is confident in me in making weight, then let's do it. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm in Jersey with him, slowing me down and getting ready for the fight.
Awesome. So was it just kind of about getting your team behind you to take that step into accepting the fight?
It wasn't even that. It was more of the the weight. It wasn't that I was out of this world. You see some flyweights cut enormous amount of weight. I'm nowhere near that. It's just for me. I had a bad time in college. I'm not a big fan of it, and just mentally, it's not the best game for me. But I got nutrition on my side. I'm really not worried. Once him and I had the conversation, he broke it down to me. He goes, "Dude, just come stay with me. A week before the fight, we'll get it down, no problem." So again, I'm actually every time I stay with him, I'm working out less, I'm eating more, I'm drinking more, and I could just in a sense relax more. Besides the last minute call up where I'm literally going back and forth through hoops for USADA, through the New York Athletic State Commission, all the paperwork with the UFC. Now today is officially everything is done, which is awesome. But man, it sucks to be a last minute fighter. It's hectic.
So with all the people that have been struggling with making weight this year for the UFC and so many people missing weight, is that something that's kind of on your mind? Like, man, I really don't want to miss weight in my UFC debut and just
I'm not worried about it. It's one of those things that you just see there until this morning. Missing weight. It sadly happens in the sport. Things do come up. Again, this week I never expected all the stuff from the UFC, USADA, New York Athletic State Commission, and all that. So it has been very, very hectic. But because I'm staying with Lou, if I was back in American Top Team doing it by myself, I probably wouldn't be the most confident in the world, just because I'd be overtraining mentally and physically be exhausted. But now with all this stuff being done and Lou literally just helped me as much as possible, I'm not worried about it. We're going to a Russian bathhouse just to literally relax, hang out, chill in the sauna, whatever, but something to give my body a nice recovery day, which is really, really cool. Again, if I was home by myself, I'd be running, 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 but that's all I know. So we're mixing, having some fun, and my weight is already much, much easier. If I needed to, I'd probably make weight in 3 days, so, comfortably in 3 days. So if I had to, I'd probably do it sooner, no problem. So overall, I'm not worried about the weight, and that's the thing is I'm just excited to finally make my UFC debut.
Jared had mentioned to James Lynch that he was threatened about not taking the fight. What did you think about when you heard that?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, and this is just me siding with Jared on this. Is it sucks to get threatened by your boss. It's
Hmm.
mainly in a career that literally we thrive off of fighting in this promotion where we're trying to make the most amount of money. Both of us are not making the most amount of money yet, but we know that once we get into those number rankings, that we can get into the more popular fight stuff like that. So it's kind of doing what we have to do to survive. But initially I said no, and then the next morning I was like, all right, let's do it because I found out like 12 a.m. or yeah 12 a.m. at night, and I was like, oh, okay, well I can't text them to say yes now. Might as well text them in the morning. So they didn't get the response until the morning, Then they said, yes, cool, Shorty's taking the fight. Let's take the fight. And then for whatever reason, a few hours later, they were like, you know what? We want to back out of the fight. We're not a fan of it. We're just, again, for whatever reason, whether it be, the matchup, or they want more training time against me, or my accolades again. I don't try to judge people on that, because I know things pop up. And he tried to back out, and then the UFC goes, hey man, we're cutting people for not taking fights. Look at what happened with Yair. We have to be fair. If you don't take this fight, you're gone. And again, that's the rumor I've been hearing, and it's it really sucks to hear, but I'm glad he took the fight. I know Jared's a good opponent. He's a fantastic wrestler. He doesn't have much of anything else to really offer, but he's a fantastic wrestler, and he's been beating everyone because of it. So I'm excited to see what I can do against it, use my wrestling skills against him, and be able to keep the fight standing as much as possible, get the knockout, hopefully in the second round. That's my ultimate goal, and I think we still haven't seen the best Jared Brooks yet, and because of the stylistic matchup, I think it's going to bring the best out of him as well.
So as far as the timeline goes, when did you find out that it was done? It was a done deal. Everything was going through. You were going to be fighting in the UFC, because we had been chatting that day, and when I texted you, kind of like, "Hey, you got signed," you were like, "Well, it's not final yet." When did it finally get done?
So I didn't sign the paperwork until 9 p.m. Tuesday, 9 or 10 p.m. on Tuesday night of last week. And so I believe that was 10 days or 9 days until the fight. I think that was 9 days until the fight. And, it's one of those things that early in the day, I was starting to drop the weight. I lost an enormous amount of weight the first day just because I was fat and happy, getting ready for a higher weight class, bulking up muscle, all that stuff. And, I lost an enormous amount of weight. And I was like, oh, wow, this is actually really doable. And then at the end of the night, my manager's going, hey, he's trying to back out of the fight. We might not have a fight, but just keep on doing what you're doing. Don't go eating donuts yet. Just be smart. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll keep on cutting weight. There's no problem here. And by the end of the night, everything on Twitter, again, Twitter found out before I did. Everyone found out somehow before I did. Like, I got a text before even the fight was announced. They're like, hey, is it true? It's like, is what true? And they sent me a picture of like me and Jared Brooks squaring off and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know. And then I get a call from my manager saying, hey, you're part of the UFC. And I was like, ah. So, yeah, I didn't find out until, Tuesday night that it was officially, a done deal. And I'm back in the UFC again, technically. And so I'm really happy that everything's, official. And I'm finally making my long-awaited UFC debut.
So how do you like that you got Jared for the debut? I know it wasn't where you wanted. I know you wanted Chicago real bad, but you kind of got a history with Jared. So how do you like that?
I think Jared's a fantastic opponent. He is, a solid wrestler. He uses his game every single time, but he really doesn't do anything else. He's, again, a very well-rounded wrestler, can scramble, can hold you down, stuff like that. But he doesn't have the conditioning. He doesn't have the size. He's naturally an animal or a strawweight. His last knockout was at strawweight. He doesn't throw much. There's not much of a threatening, position in the stand-up, and all I got to do is worry about the takedown. Honestly, I'm not worried about the takedown because I know he gasses out. So what if he does take me down? Cool. Let him try to hold me down. Let him waste his energy, and from there, the bigger man's going to be able to push forward and just try my best to get the knockout. Overall, I think I'm going to be a huge favorite for the fight stylistically, but I think Jared Brooks is a great highlight reel matchup for me. So a nice way to put me in there against a guy who's going to try to push. I'm just going to be able to push him back and be able to win the battle because of it.
So how does it feel to finally be part of the UFC, brother? Is it sunk in yet for you?
It hasn't officially sunk in. I know it'll hit me when I'm in the tunnel and go, oh my God, like I'm here. Sadly, I am the very first fight in the card again, so be it we're flyweights. That's just how it is. But I'm just happy to be a part of something big. It's now everything is 100% professional. I have my schedule set up for next week. I have the hotel. I have an official scale. I have this. I have that. So, I'm not worried about little things. Again, Titans treating me very well, but they are that, feeder program where sometimes they just don't have certain things that you need. And so I'm just like, oh, I thought that was given to us, but now the UFC gives you everything. I'm getting a bunch of Reebok gear, which is really cool, and I can finally say yes, I do UFC. So I'm probably most happy about that.
Oh, you mean like people that are uneducated about the sport asking if you do UFC?
Yeah. So do you do UFC? Actually, yes, I do UFC.
Oh, that is hilarious. So do you kind of got to pinch yourself when you wake up in the mornings, man? Is it like setting in slowly though?
Oh man, right now it's more like I'm pinching myself to get up to go work out because I'm so just lazy. But no, it's honestly it's just another day of work. People are like, "Oh, the spotlight's gonna hit you. It's gonna be different. That tunnel. It's gonna be a bigger arena." I was like, I fought in 7 world championship fights. Yeah, I haven't fought in like a big dome. I think one of them as amateur. I fought in a gigantic dome where there's hundreds and thousands of people, which is awesome. But I've never looked at it that way. For me, I really do well under pressure. We look at my honestly my 5 title fights. I've been the underdog. I believe in all of them, and I've been that guy who's just kind of come out of nowhere and just pushed through to get the fight and won the fight and shouldn't have gotten it, but somehow did and really won it and just did an amazing job. Again, the records I've beaten there most notorious are Pedro Nobre, 18-2, 86-second knockout, and 17-7, a 5-round unanimous decision with a broken hand and torn MCL. So I've come back from adversity multiple times. So I just don't see what Jared Brooks can do to me besides maybe out wrestle me for 3 rounds. That's not what the fans want. Again, he's a great wrestler. I'm not doubting his wrestling ability, but no one wants to see a wrestling match. If not, they're going to go watch the Olympics. They're going to go watch the World Championships. They're going to go watch that, but they want to see a brawl. They want to see fights. If you're going to take me down, try to Khabib me. Try to do some ground and pound. Don't hold me down and make it a boring matchup. That doesn't help our division with the excitement factor that we have right now. So, man, I'm trying to put on a show and excited to see where it goes.
Hmm. Are you worried at all that that's what he's going to try and do is just hold you down and try and eliminate that fun style that you bring?
I wouldn't say I'm worried about it, but I know that's what he's going to do. That's all
Hmm.
he does do. He just takes you down, holds a death grip. He doesn't really transition much. Yeah, he'll take your back once in a while, but I mean, he had Eric Shelton and I believe the Brazilian, which are both solid stand-up fighters, but not much of wrestlers. Me, I'm an all-American wrestler in college. I know what to do. I know how to scramble. I know how to do this, do that, and I have the conditioning plus size factor against him. So cool. I don't see him not taking me down. Cool. If he takes, I can trip myself. But can he hold me down? And could he keep the gas tank doing that for 3 straight rounds? I just don't see that happening.
So what are you looking forward to most about fighting with the UFC?
Ah, finally getting my name out there. To the world. Again, my biggest goal was to be a hero. I never wanted to be a champion or said, "Oh, I'm doing this to get the gold." Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It just so happens that it's happened 7 times. Like, that's amazing. I'm happy for it. It's record breaking and historic for me. But yeah, I'm trying to just create a legacy and in the way being able to hopefully inspire some people and see where it goes from there. I've gotten an amazing outpour of support from all these people. Once they saw that I was officially in the UFC, they're like, "Oh my God, like you came from the neighborhood or just random fans, old friends, whatever the case may be." It was actually bombarding me. I was just like, "Man, I can't even use my phone.
Hmm.
My phone is acting up." And Apple's usually pretty good at multitasking, and my phone was just it was dying because of how much responses I was getting from Twitter, Instagram. Like my notifications weren't even coming in because it was just like, we're just gonna wait till you open up the app and then boom, everything. So and then me trying to respond back to everything and show my love too. It was really hectic, but I just want to say, I appreciate everyone's love and support, and that's why I always do say we can, we will together. We are Team Shorty.
Wow, man, that's got to mean so much to you, right? After all this hard work, all the time, the long wait, and then getting that reception, it's got to mean a lot.
It's amazing because again initially I was like, I don't want to take the fight. It's just more weight than what I'm used to. I'm not a fan of it. And then I got this enormous amount of support and outreach. I was just like, man, this is awesome. I know regardless of what I decide to do, people are going to support me. But because I decided to take this fight now, I'm officially under the UFC banner. People are just like, dude, you finally made it. Like given, I don't believe I've made it to that point where I want to yet, but it's I finally made the UFC, and I can say that again, like you said, all my hard work has finally paid off, and I'm going to be respected as a multiple weight class champion that's ready to put on a show in one of the biggest and best promotions in the world.
Have you picked out a walkout song yet?
You know me. I'm all Kanye West. So more than likely, my pro debut was powered by Kanye West. I'm more than likely going to do that just because I believe it's most fitting. Pro debut, pro entrance for UFC. It's my theme song. TJ has his with Can't Stop. This is mine. Power with Kanye West, and that's every superhero needs a theme song. And for me, that's mine.
Well, I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but where do you see yourself in the next year now that you're finally in the UFC?
Where I see myself next year?
In the next year, yeah.
Um, Man, I don't know. I'm really hoping to get as many fights as possible. I want to be able to get 3, 4 fights a year and be able to make a big transition up to the higher levels. Honestly, Jared Brooks, even though he's not ranked, he is a prospect. Yeah, sadly he
Hmm.
lost his first fight, which I think he won, but beat him. I can see myself easily fighting the top 10 guy next. Because of my record, because of my accolades, mainly the way I beat him. If I beat him in a very dominant style or whatever the case may be, the UFC is going to want to make that flyweight division more exciting for the fans, and I believe I can do that. So for me, it doesn't matter who I fight: Ben Nguyen, Brandon Moreno, Pettis, or DJ at the top. I'm just ready for whoever, and me, I never say no. It's just more the timing than anything.
Man, Shorty, I can't wait to see you out there, man. After all this time, I feel like not only me, but a lot of people just in the world of MMA feel like you deserve it, man. And I'm glad you finally got the call, brother.
I really appreciate that. And actually, because of everyone reaching out and showing so much love and support, I do want to give a huge shout out to everyone and a huge thank you. So what I'm doing is TeamShorter.com is actually doing 20% off of everything by using code UFC at checkout. It just means a lot, and I would love to see the arena. I mean, I've had so many messages of people from Jersey, New York, or around the area, or even from across the country saying, "I'm gonna go. I don't care if it's a last minute fight. I'm gonna get the last minute out there, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna wear a shirt." And that's something I love to see. It's just a section of Team Shorty shirts. Doesn't matter what color you wear, as long as it says Shorty on it. I'm very, very happy. And again, for people who don't know, 20% of all the proceeds go to the kids in my gym, so they can travel, train, and possibly be like me, if not that much better, make it to the UFC, be a champion, and so on. So TeamShorter.com using promo code UFC for 20% off all of merchandise.
All right, brother. Well, guys, be sure to stay tuned. It's gonna be UFC on UFC Fight Pass, June the 1st. It'll be Jared Brooks taking on Jose Shorty Torres. Don't miss it, guys.